Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some new things that we are adding into the 2023-2024 school year. Disclaimer, if you hear anyone hollering or maybe like a popping noise, my older daughters are outside in the backyard. They are actually working on volleyball because they have tryouts that begin in just 1 week from the day I'm recording this. Also, today, the day that I'm recording this is our first day of school back to the 2023-2024 school year. Like, it's mind-blowing, but we have had a really good day. So I wanted to share with you guys some new things that I'm adding in for this school year to really get us set for like the future. Moving forward, some changes that need to be made. My girls are getting older. It's just kind of that process. I have a middle schooler, 6th grade, and I'm like, listen, we've got to get it in gear. And these things really apply to all of my girls. So let's talk about it. My name is Morgan. If this is your first time, I am happy to have you here. And if this is not your first time, thanks for coming back. I'm glad to have you as well. Okay, the first thing that I have added in this year, which I've talked about in previous videos, is a book list. I have a book list for my rising 6th, 5th. They're not rising anymore, y'all. Today was the first day of school. I have a book list for my 6th, 5th, and my 1st grader. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to link my 6th grader's book list down. This is her independent reading list. I'm going to link it down below in the description, but also make sure you subscribe because my 5th grader and my 1st grader, yes, I have a book list for my 1st grader, which is not independent. She'll do it with me, but I have a list for them coming out as well, so you don't want to miss those. I felt like it was just something that we needed to do to kind of keep us on track and also to kind of steer my girls into reading some different types of books, hopefully books that will really motivate them, just all the things. So they have a list. Now this list will not cover them for the whole year. We will definitely be going back to the drawing board and grabbing more things, but it's a good start for us to kind of give us some balance and some structure in what they're reading. The second thing is portfolios. I have already been working, I'm kind of like backlogging, which I will not do that again, but I've been backlogging the girls' portfolios for the 2022-2023 school year. I decided about March that I was going to do portfolios. Now, this is not something that is required in the state where we homeschool. They really ask for nothing. They suggest 180 days. They suggest that you cover language arts, math, science, and history, and that is pretty much the extent of it. Well, that makes this mama a little uncomfortable because what if we decide to pick up and move to another state? That requires a lot more. I would like to have something tangible. On top of that, it will not just be like a portfolio for record keeping. This is also going to be like a memory book. It is serving as a memory book for them. I am still working on it. It's been a huge undertaking, I will not lie, because I didn't do it as we went along, and I'm probably overthinking it just a little bit, but I want it to be something great that the girls can really enjoy and sit back, and also I want it to have different requirements and different things in it. So I am still working on that. A video on how I put it all together is coming. I'm going to say subscribe a lot in this video because there are so many things coming up here at the Life of Tillmans that you do not want to miss. The next thing that is changing for this school year is we are going to do a lighter or more abbreviated schedule in the fall. Instead of hitting it in the fall and just really going and being all in with everything, we're actually not. We're hitting it right now to be all in. And then when the fall comes, we're going to have an abbreviated schedule. And I've talked about this as well, but it is because of volleyball. It really takes a lot out of us. My daughters, hopefully my middle daughter will play for the same volleyball team that my oldest daughter does, but it's a homeschool organization. So a lot of things happen during the day. Practices are in midday, games also midday. Like we have games that are really far because we play smaller towns here where we live. All of that is a huge change for us in the fall. And last year I wasn't prepared. Well, this year I am. So we're going to have an abbreviated schedule in the fall and I'm working on it and I'm really excited about it because I'm incorporating some things that the girls don't normally get to put their hands on for that, and they're still going to be learning. It's just going to be overall, I think, a beautiful transition for us. I'm excited about it. The girls are too. Like today with the first day of school, they wanted to put their hands on everything. And I'm like, nope, we're only touching language arts and math today. And they're like, oh man. But yet they can see everything that we're going to touch on throughout the school year. So they're really excited about that. But definitely an abbreviated schedule for the fall is what's going to work best for us to really be able to push through this school year. Another thing that is different this year, which I will be honest, I am not a fan of it. I don't like it, but it's necessary for my daughter. And so I have to do it. And I'm doing it. And so far, first day, it has worked out great. I have a schedule for her. Detailed schedule. When I mean detailed, I mean You're going to do easy grammar, level 4, pages 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to check your work. Then you're going to move on to spelling, week 1, day 1. Vocabulary, week 1, day 1. You're going to check your work in all of those. Math, you're going to do lesson this, page this. All of the exercises are checked out. It is detailed, more detailed than I have ever had to do with my girls in our homeschooling life. However, she needs that. It's what keeps her on track. It's what helps build her confidence, helps build her independence. She knows the direction that she's going for the day, and she doesn't really have to make those decisions. Some might say that that's not a good thing, that she doesn't have to make those decisions, but not every child is going to develop in the same way. And she is that child that needs the direction. She needs the checkbox. We talk negatively a lot of times about checking boxes in our lives, but for her, she needs that checkbox so that she can see the progress, number one, and also know where to stay focused and what she has left to do. So it has worked. It worked great for her. She was excited about doing it and having it. We've been talking about it for a couple of months now, and it just worked out really good. So what I did was, just to get started, I kind of started a little late, but I got about 2 weeks planned out for her. My goal is to have the entire 7 weeks of our homeschool schedule. We are doing 7 weeks on and 8. The 8th week will be off. So an 8-week rotation. I'm going to link the planning video down below in case you missed it, but to have that entire 7 weeks planned out for her. And this is to really keep her focused on what she needs to do every single day. And it's not more than what she can do every day. She has a well laid out plan according to her capabilities, which are amazing. And so now we're just working on that independence and that focus and making sure that she just stays focused. That's it. Focus. The next thing that we're going to be doing is going a lot deeper in Bible, especially for my older ones. In the past, we have used Indescribable 100 Devotions Between God and Science. We've used those. We've used the Tiny Truths Bible, some other smaller, more Bible story type resources. But I can tell that my older girls are wanting and digging for more. We are currently working through the Not Consumed Work Unto the Lord Bible study, and it is awesome. We love it. Great discussion. We include my kindergartner because I have a primary book as well, and she really is enjoying it. And so that is something that we're going to be diving more into Bible, more independent Bible study for my older daughters. They read the Bible on their own, just like they read any other book, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, the best stories that you're going to get in life are located in the Bible. Like, let's just be real. So they are reading through the Bible and really enjoying it. And I thought we need to go a little bit deeper. So I have kind of beefed up our Bible resources for our homeschool to give my older daughters the meat that they are looking for to help answer the questions that they are asking so that they can really build and grow their relationship with God all on their own, separate from what I believe and what I feel, so that they can learn how to do that on their own. And I've been seeing it evolve for a while now, and I love it. I really, really do. So yeah, we're just gonna be going a little deeper in Bible for my older two daughters. Another thing that we're gonna be changing is science. We are still going to stick with the master books, God's Design. We're going to work through life again. I think the girls want to finish that one, but we're going to be moving around in science, y'all. Like, we are really a unit study family, especially when it comes to science. And we just didn't get that last year. And it kind of just drained us just a little, just a little. So I have multiple science resources, and we're kind of just going to flip flop around to that. My thoughts when it comes to science is get it, enjoy it, and then we increase the level of difficulty as you get older. But the concepts are really still the same. They will go into chemistry and physics and all of those things later on. But for science right now, I just want us to be able to move how we want to. So that may look like we start a master books unit. I feel like they have their books set out in units, and it usually takes about 10 to 12 weeks to complete one. We might go 4 weeks and stop and switch to something else and do another 3 to 4 weeks and then go back to that. It all just depends on how we are feeling, but we will get to what is a reasonable stopping point within that. I mean, we're not going to stop in the middle of a unit, obviously. We would finish that unit within that specific topic. So for example, plants, it has like multiple units in it. So we would finish that unit and they would maybe go over the test or whatever, and then we'd switch to something else. So that's how we're going to be moving in science, to where it's not just the same thing for 12 weeks and then switch to something else, same topic for 12 weeks. We just don't really like that. And yeah, I don't want to have to do that. And I love science, and I felt like this previous year, it just kind of drained us. And I was like trying to figure out what the problem was, but that was it. We just did not have enough movement in our science like we've had in the past. And so it just made it a little not so fun for us. Another thing that's going to be changing, and this is mainly for my older daughters, is that they're going to be doing more of the reading and the instructions. Especially when it comes to science, they would depend so heavily on me, which I get it. They trust me. I'm their parent. I'm their teacher, all of the things. But now we're working on independence. We have upper elementary and middle school. We've got to do some things different. Now, they never have a problem reading, but when it comes to following instructions, especially when we're talking about the science projects and things, they want me to read it and then tell them what they're supposed to do, as opposed to them reading it and then figuring out what to do. So that's just a part of that independence, that problem solving skills. These are things that we're working on for life all the time. But I noticed it toward the end of the school year, and I'm like, okay, this is something that we can work on, giving them the book and saying, hey, you read it to me and you tell me how to do the experiment and why we're doing it, and what you possibly think the results are. We would have those discussions, but I felt like I led them a little bit more than what I should have. And so I didn't necessarily give the girls an opportunity to really problem solve and brainstorm as much as they possibly could have. Yes, they did a ton of it, but I'm like, let's do more. Like, I feel like they can do more. So that's the direction that I'm heading in when it comes to that. More reading, more instruction, just in any opportunity. So it could possibly be art. If we're working on an art project, they're going to be the ones to go through and read everything and work on it and know what to do, get all the supplies out. I'm not going to tell them. They're going to go through the list. They do that a lot in the kitchen, but it seems like sometimes when they leave out of the kitchen, they're following a recipe, they leave out of the kitchen, it's like all those skills just disappear too. So that's another thing that we're going to work on for this school year. Another thing that we're doing this year is the girls are going to be keeping their own records. I'm keeping records, y'all. Like, this is not solely on them. I will 100% keep records every single day, but I want them to get in the habit of doing it. How many days they are schooling, what curriculum and pages they've completed. Now, we did this last year. I'm going to link the video down below, my planning video, and the piece of paper that I used and printed off and the girls wrote on it. It was great. So now they're each going to have their own individual books. I'm going to show you guys more details about that when I tell you guys how we're getting our lives together with what planners and what books we're using. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that.